with 10 wins by knockout. His only loss was a points defeat to Jamie Manguia in a world title shot. To discuss this big announcement, we are lucky to have Tim Tszyu's manager, Glenn Jennings, on the line with us. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Paul. How are you, mate?
Mate, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Oh, thanks for having me on, mate. A pleasure.
Mate, you have chosen a tough opponent in Takashima Inu in Tim Tszyu's next fight. What can you tell us about Inu?
Oh, look, Inu is one of those typical Japanese fighters, mate. He's very, very forward. He's tough. Throws a lot of punches. He's a little awkward at times. He throws them from everywhere, but super tough. He's got a great chin on him. I think he's going to be a terrific challenge for Tim. He's one of those guys that never takes a backward step.
It'll be a tough one, but mate, he's up to anything if you ask me. The fight is taking place on November 17 with a venue yet to be decided. What are the venues that are running to host the fight so far? Can you say?
Look, it's an interesting one nowadays, mate. In this landscape we work in with COVID as to where the fight ends up. Look, it's most likely going to be up on the Gold Coast. Mm-hmm. But the reality is you have to have plans A, B and C based on the fact that at any given day a premier can close a border or shut down an area. So, we've got plans sitting for New South Wales as well with venues ready to go. So it'll be just a matter, mate, of I think we'll announce that it'll be on the Gold Coast. That's our preferred place. But we'll see. We'll just see how it plays out leading up towards the actual date of November 17th.
Yeah, okay. Jumping the gun a bit here, but if Tim is victorious against Inu on November 17, how many more fights do you think Tim will have before challenging for the world title?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's been asked a few times. As you well know, mate, at this level, when you're dealing with the two boys in question, Castano and Charlo, both now have been mandated to fight their number ones. Charlo, the Russian boy, he's been given the mandate to fight the Russian kid, and Castano's mandated to fight Tim. Now, in a normal world, mate, we would be able to say that fight should take place within 3 months.
Yeah.
Now, the problem we have is that because they fought for the Undisputed Championship and there was an option for a rematch, that rematch would override that mandate. Yeah. Now, interestingly, nothing's been said about the rematch at this stage. So for us, we're looking at most likely March of 2022, where Tim will take up his mandated option to fight for the world title.
Okay. Yeah, they're the two fighters, aren't they, at junior middle at the moment, Jamel Charlo and who's got the WBA, WBC and IBF, and Brian Castano holds the WBO world title, where Tim Tszyu is ranked number 1 by the WBO.
That's right, mate. They had a draw in the unification fight, and on the back of that, the IBF mandated Jamel to fight the Russian kid, and of course the WBO mandated Brian to fight Tim. So look, it's exciting. It will happen regardless. And to be honest, we're not worried about who stands opposite Tim in the ring for that world title, whether it be Jamel Charlo or Brian Castano. We don't have any concern about that. We believe that Tim will be ready and will go all out to bring that strap to Australia. So it's just a matter of time, a little bit of politics to see whether or not the WBO or the IBF enforce their mandate. But look, at the end of it, it's terrific for Australian boxing. It's two good things this week. One, that we're bringing Inu to Australia, which is fantastic. A lot of people said that it wouldn't happen. None of the top guys would come to Australia. Well, he's coming, and that's sorted, and contracts are signed. And secondly, the fact that we've got that world title sitting there, waiting for Tim to take up early next year.
Okay, that's great. You're a team of confidence, aren't you, Glenn? Which you've got
to be Paul at this level, mate. It's all there's no easy fights for Tim anymore. We made the decision that we move on to the international stage, and so we've done that with that confidence, and we've done this will be his 20th fight. We've gone into every fight with that confidence, and we're only a small team, but we keep it pretty close to the chest, and we back Tim's ability, and we make sure we give him, as a team, the very best preparation and opportunity to deliver. So, no easy fights. It's all about risk and reward now, and I don't know if there'd be many other fighters, Paul, in all honesty, mate, who would take the risk of a tough fight like a new in between and forward of a world title fight. Most people would probably sit and wait for it, but that's not us. We don't wait. This will be Tim's fifth fight in 14 months during the pandemic, so we just keep on moving forward, mate.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tim's come a long way since 2016 when he had that first professional bout at the Sydney Cricket Ground against Soren Cassidy.
He sure has, mate.
He sure has, hasn't he?
It's been a wonderful ride, and we've had the luxury of pushing Timmy around the whole country and taking him overseas for fights and overseas camps, and we've got wonderful sponsors, we've got a terrific team, we've got great promoters. It's all clicked into place nice. I keep a pretty tight lead on everything. Some say I'm a bit of a dictator, but I think when it comes to athletes today, they need that guidance and somebody to sort of keep a firm hand over where we're going and keep the roadmap moving in the direction we wanted. Interesting, we haven't changed a lot of our roadmap from day one, so we've stuck to our plan. We always said that we'd bring as many fights to Australia as we could. There's plenty of noise out there about Tim has to travel overseas and all of that.
No, he will in good time, mate.
I understand people want to see Tim overseas. I'm not sure if they understand the business of boxing, that it makes sense that if Tim's earnings are far better than he would be getting overseas, and you don't have the risk of travel, and certainly don't have the risk of COVID or quarantine, why wouldn't you fight at home in front of your own fans? Exactly.
As you said, you do get around after the cricket ground. You went to Adelaide, back to Sydney, he's in the Melbourne, then the Gold Coast. You soon get around, and talking about dictatorship, you've got the runs on the board, Glenn. You were there back in the Costa Tszyu days, and you're there with your son now. Would you believe this, mate? Ever would have thought this was going to happen?
It's a wonderful, wonderful story, and I'm blessed to have had that amazing time with Costa and go to the very, very top of the mountain in boxing, and to experience the highs and the lows and the good, the bad and the ugly. And Timmy's the beneficiary of that now, because I make sure that everything I learned in that process with Costa, I try my very best to just deliver the good for Tim and make sure that he's very well looked after and protected in a world where traditionally a lot of young fighters get chewed and spat out. I just won't allow that to happen, and we'll keep on doing what we're doing, mate. So my goal is simple: that when Tim retires, that he'll be well placed in a great position to enjoy his family and the rest of his life. And I think that's a good way of looking at it, mate. The boxing will come and go, and that life goes on.
It sure does. Boxers do come and go, and life does go on. Now, there's a photo of you back in the day, Costa Tszyu. I've made a comment there. You guys haven't changed. I don't know the names, but there's two in that photo with you, Costa Tszyu. Have you photoshopped this picture or something, Glenn? Because mate,
no, that's a great old picture. Someone sent me that the other night.
They've photoshopped it.
It is a great old photo.
It's a beauty.
Dr. Bill's still. Dr. Bill is with Tim. I brought Dr. Bill on to continue on looking after Tim for Tim's career, and my right hand, Dave Young, who's been with me for 40-something years, is in that photo as well.
He hasn't changed as well.
It's wonderful, mate. It's great to continue traditions and their experience and everything.
Yeah.
It all matters, and it all helps, especially when you're now moving on to the international stage, where it's all hands on deck.
It sure is. Well, look, Glenn, thanks for your time, mate. I got you last night at the last minute, but you always pull through, mate, which is great.
Oh, any time for you, mate. You can give me a call. I'll try and update you as best I can with what's going on. But I appreciate what you do for boxing, Paul, and keep it up, mate. And look forward to getting back to your shows once we can get through this mess, eh?
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate, for all us promoters and fighters and amateur fighters. But look, Glenn, we wish you and Tim all the best. Hope you guys are victorious on the 17th of November.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. We'll talk again soon.
Anytime. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
Thanks, Glenn. Bye for now.
Bye, mate.
And that was Glenn Jennings, always happy to let me know what's going on in the boxing world.